with the shotgun, not quite. And Arthur hops back into the face of another. That's a really see if they can beat Team Secret's tally from Group Green as they crush on over the ghouls, looking to go nuclear against Nuclear Zone, sweeping through the rest of it. But Ichigo's Fajita is a little bit of a strong member on the side of Nuclear Zone. Could clutch this out, but it's Kaikse from DRX actually to move on in. The Burmese ghouls will have to do something about this. Luckily, there's some shots from the sidelines. DRX dropping that deployable cover, wanting to guard out the Burmese ghouls on this northeastern side. Regnum Kaya yet to push in. Weibo actually bless the ghouls with some gravestones to hide behind here. Hopefully they can make their way through the marshes over towards DRX. But True Rippers actually have a strong spot over on the eastern side. They're consistently taking shots. The grand finals, they're going to be one of our most played teams, I suppose. Unless we get a Gauntlet team also. Okay, I'm not going to continue to do this maths, but still, you'll be happy to see them again.
I would, yeah. As we are coming to a close here on Rondo at stage 5. Moving to stage 6 soon. Regnum Kaya officially do outlast DRX, but they don't out-elim them. Currently with 9 total. Top does take down 1 from Influence Rage, leaving just Lil Boy up and remaining. I think Lil Boy is definitely not someone you want to...
One though, so maybe not quite there. I mean, there's the shots coming over through to Twisted Minds, having a tough time. They're going to have to move further east as well. They're regrouping all towards it. They're fully committing to pretty much...
Gemma Backpack does finally run out of juice though, so he's going to start taking big damage. Zed Wolf finds short of towards Godspeed as they attempt to rotate in. They do get Yatka towards frontline though, at least.
Yeah, it looks like Unknown gets clipped as well, so Yatka not going to be able to get them back up, more than likely. And Regnum Kaya up 2 elims now. Blank, they're chasing down that 120. Finally go down to Weibo. We're playing as 3 after losing Sook. In the meantime, Regnum Kaya trying to step up, but True Rip
towards the north side though, to be able to confirm onto this position. And as of 4, they have a massive opportunities as possible. And I think he has the chops on him to do it.
He's your Hydro homie. Going on in right now for the True Rippers. The off angle's good. I think when these two teams
look at all the utility that True Rippers have been able to maintain here.
Something I didn't consider is that True Rippers are holding this eastern side of the hill against any other team, and now that they are no longer holding it, they themselves can take it. That might make it a little bit harder for Regnum Kaya. Weibo really suffering here on this south side. Just could not transition further north, but still a pretty solid game for them. Getting up to 9 elims here. Blank still very much in the conversation for a 3rd place as Regnum Kaya start to pick up those elim points too. They want to try and rack up as many as possible. Maximum they can get though is 9 on this match. A33Z down because they have not wasted time in repositioning here. Nice and proactive.
I think they were a little slow actually. I think they were a little slow to this. And I think they allowed Regnum Kaya to take down Weibo pretty much unimpeded. I think now the big thing is whether they close it out, right? If they close it out, it's absolutely fine. But if they do lose this game, it will be because of that slight delay, slight hesitation. That is a bold peek out coming through from Zed Wolf there on the right-hand side.
I mean, they definitely did not want to get stuck into that 3rd party, right? They moved across nice and rapidly, but after that, they just, you're right, they could have controlled the fight a little bit more. And they don't have that opportunity anymore. Wild immediately finds Hydro on the trade, and they're looking for more. Not really moving, and that nade looks pretty good, Blank. That might find what they're looking for. Not quite getting a knock, not quite getting a flush. There's an answer over towards Wild, but Zed Wolf has some of his own. The cover flares start to drop from the sky. And it is necessary to get this res to keep the numbers advantage on side for True Rippers, facing off against Regnum Kaya. Both teams pretty desperate for these points. Regnum Kaya more for pride than anything to jump up towards that top spot again.
I mean, it's also kind of crazy that True Rippers have eaten through pretty much all their utility already. They were on like 12 nades, they're now to 2. Regnum Kaya have 3 more to work with, so I'm not sure where all those nades went from True Rippers. I mean, coming through thick and fast. Yeah, we're setting things up here. Right now, Regnum Kaya does control a lot of the zone up here on this plateau.
Nade over from Wild. Finds Hydro. A massive opener. The answer not going to be there. a little bit off target, unfortunately. Jelly's trying to flank around to find Loxy, allow them to get a little bit further forward. Another nade expended, and it's not going to find the value. Wilds does again. Burns Hydro's health bar down, and I don't think you're going to commit to this res. Maybe you look for it, but the blue zone is pushing. Another nade in, and Jelly and Loxy's fight on the northern side is popping off. You can see that fight in the picture-in-picture down below. Jelly not finding the angle they were looking for, and his position now is known. Hydro back to his feet. And True Rippers, they're not going down without a fight, but we'll see if they're able to find it. Wild moving forward. Loxy still in combat. They're moving together, and there's no more nades left for Regnum Kaya. True Rippers have the divots, may be able to make some inroads here. Harsh the forward position.
Troopers do back off. That res though really slowed them down, and it's a hard decision to make whether you play on as 3 there and go for the 3v3 or go for the res, but it does delay them and pushes them further and further up towards this wall, which isolates these angles.
Wild.
For Regnum Kaya.
Wolf as well up on the high ground. One player found the Wild slow. Maybe looking for a trade. 2 for 1 right now, but it's an even 2v2. Loxy on the low ground versus Jelly. Zed Wolf goes low as well. Up against Harsh. He's going low, but he wins that trade by the skin of his teeth. Stays alive. Loxy's down though. And Jelly in a 1v1. Oh, Regnum Kaya just about stay alive. True Rippers took them right to the wire, but they close it down. A 9-point chicken dinner. The True Rippers gave them the fright of their life, and I think they had a total of 2 HP at the end of.
They played it out. They pushed down. They were like, we need to take advantage of this moment.
On the outside of this one, this is a really bold decision to be on the outside there. I feel like you just want to go on back in, and as you can see, the DRX are like, there's a guy on the outside. Let's just try and swipe him. Go for those vehicle plays. And not quite connecting on that first run around. We'll see if they go for a second. Nade over in from Hydro. His feet not exposed, standing on the rooftop there. And they do keep things under control. Looking to be found here by Hyunbin. Hydro has that lineup. Players hit the dirt. No way you can do that. Hyunbin, you should know. These shots are coming through. They're going to see you immediately. Maybe he thought the smoke cover was there. The answering nade is pretty good, though. And Hydro will get knocked. Now it's just Kyo on the off angle, and his cover's moving away from him. Jelly's knocked on the flip side as well. On the swivel, hits the deck, stays alive, looks for the flush as well. And Soez goes down too. Now it's just up the kite safe for DRX on the approach. Can't stand up. There's Hop. There's Kyo. And they poach. Held their nerve in the face of it. Hydro goes down, but DRX are taken out. Regnum Kaya looking to rise above. Was what was happening there. Unfortunate for DRX losing that one out, but really good stuff, as you say. 4 True Rippers, very, very happy with that fight for them. A little bit messy in the middle of it, but they came.
I wouldn't count them out yet. They're still playing down towards the low ground, and the nades could be good. That one looks fairly on target. It's a lot of damage done. Needs a bit more chip on that side of things. Aragon is very lucky. He will get 70% of his HP back. I think the nade should be running dry soon. What the hell, Burmese Ghouls still have some back in pocket, and she's still got one more. DBS now pulled out. The maximum effect.
Ooh, a lot of damage from Virtus Pro's nades. Godspeed has to dodge the bullets and be effective with his own. Itchy lines them up, but Virtus Pro answer. And in a 4v2, that's not the sort of trade you can go for. They get the flushes, and that is the Burmese Ghouls down. But Alliance have the lineup. They are 2-2 split right now, and they've watched all of this unfold. Aragon to fall, and there's a lot of damage sidling its way on over to the Virtus Pro camp. They're looking for the reses, looking to keep this one going, but Cluck
hurt Virtus Pro a little bit and then move back down again. Hero does go out. I think for Alliance, this game...
I think at this point, Arcred, they've done their job. They know.
Really preoccupied with Arcred, so they even spot this push. Finally, Olio's able to look over this way. But for Regnum Kaya, they've got to deal with balls as well. That was ambitious. Very, very ambitious coming through from Regnum Kaya.
Yeah, that's a bit of a mad regroup there, but again, as you said, most of their day and most are starting to suffer on the hillside. They are now down to just 1 player, Exo, remaining, and he's not going to be getting Havlik back up.
This is a big game now, though, for Alliance. If they win this game, it sees them safe, right? At least going through to the last chance. It'll push them quite far up the leaderboard towards the middle, and it'll be a lot of other teams battling out for those last chance spots. So I think for Alliance, it's a really big game for them. Unfortunately, we've seen this team really mess up a lot of endgames in the past. and it could happen again here, especially with this circle, which shifts hard over towards Arcred's position. Luckily, Alliance is already sending out, getting quite a bit of work done. Good shots from Jimmy with the AUG, and Olio will finish off the other. Just Havlik now left alive. 12 elims for Alliance.
But for Alliance,
I don't over towards easy for Bad Boy, but no knock found, which is the big deal here. Glory, he could really be a thorn on the side. Currently, the algorithm's giving it by 0.10% over towards Arcred.
But it is going back and forth. I mean, it's getting closer by the second. Oh, Cluck not going down there is huge news. Glory desperately wants that nade to find it. So much needed, and he will be able to connect. Cluck going down there is disastrous. Holding that position would have been brilliant. That's why I was so excited for them. Stay up and alive there, because it's unlikely you can go for that res and immediately Arcred pounce. They're moving around. The piranhas of the lobby moving through, and it's all coming crashing down for Alliance. Immediately 2 more knocks found, and it is not to be denied. The piranhas swarm, and Iftar, the last to stand against them, looks to try and find one, get a point on board, but from the high ground, it's shut down.
I do think that it puts them in striking distance, at least. Matches. For some of these teams, they're getting less than an hour's footage sometimes after day 2, just because of the amount of time they spend dead. So I think for Regnum Kai, this is really good, because you do have quite a bit of time now to
Influence Rage. We're on board with them right now. This was a team who was back and forth in and out of those top spots, and now they're very much at the back of the queue for it, with Alliance almost in a position to overtake them as well. They are the team that is furthest behind of Chase, but if you can take down Weibo on the approach, that is great news for Influence Rage. Nuclear Zone as well, looking to find a spot as Krona. Nope, not going to be able to do so. Hero spots up the top there, wonders what he's doing, but actually the rest of the team are here for a little bit of retribution. Hero borne down upon him. Yeah, he's not getting away with that one. You can crawl upstairs all you like, mate. Your health bar's nearly 0.
Some big wins from that location, but at the moment with it heading down towards the south side, really uncomfortable area of the map to work with. But Alliance are in this end zone. They're looking to push that momentum even
further. Keep on going, keep that momentum going for Malaysia on that south side. Keep it relying a little bit more on their gunfighting. Let's see what they can do. The Burmese ghouls in the meantime, they've lost Unknown. That nade looks like it's on target. Nuclear Zone. A tasty morsel for the ghouls to feast on.
Yeah, it's a good rap from Burmese ghouls, honestly, depending on where they were coming in from. So I think it's good that they get down towards this location, and they are cleaning house right now with Nuclear Zone. And there will be a clean sweep. Sadly, there is some shots going their way, but I do think that this is a resable location for them. Just have to be slightly...
Trying to create that comfort for him. Burt's Pro as well, moving through against True Rippers. They lost Voston, but they managed to find 2 in response. Aragon answered on towards, and this fight has been a little bit back and forth. The circle
here, this is a very aggressive approach they have to take this circle. They're going to have to sort of battering around their way in.
Kaya getting battered by the vehicle approach there on the swing around. I'm not sure. Wait, that's just a ghost vehicle driving on its own all the way on out. I'm not too sure what happened to Regan Kaya, but they get run through, and DRX all more happy to take those points. Adding 141. Blank again. They've kind of done enough, and sure, they still got Wild going. Maybe you can get an extra point or 2, but once more, they'll just look for what they can find. In the meantime, True Rippers are going to be eliminated. Their last player eliminated there. Twisted Minds can sit.
They are right on the edge. Virtus Pro definitely wanted to catch up, though, on this southeast side. Alliance, again, they're very good when it comes to the opportunity plays. But if that does improve, oh my god, we've got a team on our hands.
And we will see if they can make that ascent, but there's not too many more matches to do it. Alliance do have a crash on their hands as Influence Rage, making their approach and doing so very effectively. They lose Diego, but the majority of Alliance are taken down very, very quickly here. A really bold approach coming through to this fight, and only Jimmy now stands. Influence Rage giving them the runaround. They will not be able to hold this compound on the south side uncontested. That's for certain. The going to have to disengage. Meanwhile, over on the northern side, this is Team Flash and DRX crashing as well. And DRX finding ETSH as well. It's Flash off in the distance. A lot of similar nameplate colors, but ETSH go down. DRX adding
Flash, yeah, losing players like that is awkward. For DRX, though, what a good game for them to really put themselves further the leaderboard. If they're able to get a chicken dinner here, yeah, they're done. They're finished, right? They're into top 3. It's unlikely they'll leave. Virtus Pro, they need a really big run here if they want to make it out from that bottom 5. And they are setting themselves up for success. I just talked about how strong. I think it's a very similar situation to what we see from OG, honestly. It's just that this 4v4 isn't quite as good. I would even say that OG had a slightly better 4v4 than Alliance. But yeah, I don't really know what's happening here for this squad, but that has to change in the future.
Players still alive though for Alliance. They got top this match, solidifying themselves. Remember that 98-point 3-way tiebreaker bubble on 11th place? They're getting pretty close to that now. With still 3 more matches to play after this, including another Erangel. It should be okay. So Influence Rage, but Influence Rage wanted to jump up a lot further. E-Arena, I mean, a lot of these teams in that 3rd place competition have had a tough game here. E-Arena will be going down here as well. Arcred, Weibo, E-Arena, all out and eliminated. The fact that Team Flash are still alive is massive for them. And they're alive as 2 in a not terrible position. If Influence Rage lose a player here, all of a sudden their southwest spot is looking pretty great for a top 4.
Yeah, I think so. I think Influence Rage looking just to clear out the rest of Alliance and then potentially push over towards the roadside. The roadside is going to be the most difficult spot. Max brings up a really great point as well, is that the hovercraft here that DRX, I think they have on board, is going to be huge in this zone because it is quite open, and having that massive bit of cover, which is essentially a wall towards the end game, is really useful. Not only that, it's a wall that you can maneuver. So I think for DRX, like we say, if they're able to close out this game, that's their run done, and they're in the top 3. For Virtus Pro, it's all the more scary for them because they are in the bottom 5. They're at risk of going out. So although for DRX it would be lovely to finish off the day right now, for VP it means all that more for them.
Rage, find another more, goes for the spray and immediately goes to the flush. They clean it out and they don't take too much damage. So can they transition now for Influence Rage over towards the center side of this?
Oh no, I think maybe he's just happy to have the 3x on the M4 for the long range. I guess with the shotgun as well, you sort of do want to hold on to that because the Groza does kick and other teams taking shots towards one another, but these are some slick shots from So Easy. Really accurate too. Lord is trying to get a little bit of an investment off the back of that. Flash wins, actually taking a lot of those elims away. And as a region, it is very, very good for the top 3.
I mean, getting those points as they are on 111 and then a couple more, so 113 right now. 5 points ahead, that's not comfortable, but the placement points that they're going to earn here is good news. They've already got at least 5. The nades from Virtus Pro, they look pretty good, but they're not quite getting the job done entirely. Still not quite connecting that one. Will find the knock on towards win. Aragon still has another, and the answering nades are not quite there. Virtus Pro removing Team Flash from proceedings. DRX getting involved. The spray down towards Aragon, but finally the flushes come through. They lock down in towards a 5 elim 3rd place, so a good result, but they're not out of the woods just yet. In the meantime, though, DRX, they're looking to control Virtus Pro, shut this whole thing down right now. They want that top spot back. Rectum Kaya have challenges, but our top 2, blank, they are pretty much guaranteed here. Rectum Kaya and DRX are gods as well. And there you go. I mean, the top 3 is the 3rd place.
Oh, works. For E-Arena, though, I think they took the most dangerous path into the circle. I think it was very unwise. And I think it just shows that Weibo does a lot more homework here. In terms of their initial rotations. I think they're lacking, but when it comes to these rotations and understanding the lobby and the rotates, they are second to none here.
Yeah, it's nice to see that people are keeping their wits about them. On that front, Arcred, they're turning this fight around against Rectum Kaya, who now only a boss player from True Rippers goes down over towards the Billy Base exit. as the circle will close fairly soon. Wild getting knocked over on the north side. I mean, the transition for Arc Red onto the mainland. I say the mainland, the now mainland onto Sosnovka. That's gone very well for them, and I think it's mostly to do with the fact that
I think it's those like little moments where his plays were necessary to keep the squad up and kicking that makes me think that this guy deserves all the praise on the team. DRX sweep over towards the north now. Look over towards.
In terms of those chasing spots, they seem to be the best positioned. Arc Red still, though, we seem that they can somehow move through dangerous terrain after that fight.
With a well-placed Molotov. Nice order up against Halfboy. Finally, he does come in clutch.
That finally is going to bust them down to size. Humble them slightly, but easy for Bad Boys still live and kicking, and they are really pushing on the elim count.
The lobby's still up. There's a huge amount of limbs in this lobby to gain. Sadly, there are sharks in the water with DRX who have gone from strength to strength, which is usually the South Korean way, it seems, right? Where they start off a little bit slow and then just get stronger as time goes on. So it's a team that, they're just teams that are really, you want to keep them down early on. And you want to get ahead early on before they start to power up, essentially.
Lions trying to move past the Burmese ghouls, but they are getting shredded as they go. Just Jimmy remains, and from the long-range shot of Zois, who goes down himself almost immediately, is going to be a bit of a catastrophic turn for Alliance. They full force will go down. Burmese ghouls lose one on the approach. The south side fight is popping off with the picture-in-picture. Nuclear Zone, Boars, and Influence Rage all getting stuck in down there. The Burmese ghouls are balling up now, Blank, to try and arise to the top of this hill. Yatka leads the charge. Kaitse trying to control it, but can't quite have the effect that he's looking for. Ichi unknown, both needing to heal up a little bit. So distraction coming through, and an aid not on target for Hyunbin.
Yeah, so easy back up again, which is very awkward. And being at the bottom of this hillside is very difficult for the Burmese ghouls. We'll see how they want to play this one out. The Flash really have had no impact on this game. They've been playing this from very slow. The Burmese ghouls, on the other hand, consistently trying to push in from this northeast edge, but as soon as DRX took this high ground, their lives became so difficult. It's a nice shot from Havlik at long range, but they're not giving up easily.
Hyunbin so low on this trade. 4 players still for DRX, and Yatka not in a position to refrag it. Unknown is down. The Burmese ghouls are waning. Blank, this is a big game for Boars as well. They're in 12th place right now. Placements will see them over Twisted Minds, but it's about establishing those buffers going into our final 2 matches. From the south side, Boars are chasing. Influence Rage desperate to clamber their way.
Regnum Kaya looked insane, and then somehow DRX has just performed on every single map to a very high degree. I think that is the difference.
They are looking for DRX to move down south. Influence Rage playing up on the hills, but a Team Flash holding off against the Boars. 2 teams looking to try and keep things under lock and key, but it's the Boars who win it. Blank, this is big for the bottom bubble. The Boars looking to break through, to burst into the middle pack and stay alive. Team Flash will stop here, will stop now on that south side. I think they're going to lock in 126 points here, which puts them quite far ahead of 4th place. Arc Red do a lot this match, but it won't be enough to keep up. Influence Rage as well, looking to keep things going, but it's DRX who just will not stop on the transition down to the military island. With now 11 eliminations, Influence Rage look to open them up.
Sadly, Hyunbin will go down as the forward vanguard for the squad, and Influence Rage will waste no time in pushing over towards them. Diego up front, 2 players in the vehicle, trying to go for the drive-by, get a little bit of damage done. And Diego goes for something a little bit crazy, in my opinion. I think unnecessary would be the word I was looking for.
DRX now in a 3 versus 3. The knock onto Hyunbin, though, is resible. If Sois can get that back, it's going to be nasty. But a nade lands on, nearly takes them down. Another one. No, it's going to fall short. Not going to go quite tag on. A DRX are allowed to get back up to 4, which is a huge pickup. Now the flex out for Lorazin needs to come in clutch because they didn't quite have time for DRX to get there at the same amount of time. The stage not quite set either because we're in stage 7. So another shift will come through. It could go west or east. And favor one of our squads here, Blank.
So easy pays Hyunbin back to favor from picking him up earlier in this game. Lorazin, the sub-in for Federal, looking to prove his worth here on this match, our final match of Erangel in Group Red. With a 4v3, DRX looking to close Erangles out strong.
4v3. I mean, they should have.
Up can just flow straight over like a crashing wave, take down Influence Rage.
Law on the top. I mean, he knows where these players are, but you just can't peek them yet. The player on the north, QXZ, actually pushing further out to try and get a sneaky little off angle. Hyunbin, I mean, he's not wanting to strike just yet. He is. A dissuading factor, though. And QXZ is looking for Lil Boy here, but I think the terrain just about covers him off unless Lil Boy gets too close. Law allowed to fade back, but that should be spotted by QXZ. No, he's just staying down on the deck. Moving around, not quite in position.
I mean, Hyunbin Bin down here gives them so much information because not only is this big off angle, they know that they're all on this side. No, Hyunbin will strike now. And this is where the rest of DRX will just send straight over. Like I said, here comes the tsunami.
So it goes past the player, down in the dirt. Lil Boy looking for the strafe underneath the vehicle, but just can't hit the shots that's needed. And DRX, they find that off angle. Sneaky little Hyunbin down the bottom there, able to find the first and the crash.
Today, these guys' heads are a little bit sore, sure, but they're causing a splitting headache for the rest of the squads inside this lobby.
On these tables around a lot of these situations, especially with those military circles, a north side shift comes on through on our first of two bounce, actually, to try and find the angle. But okay, Voston should be done for here. That should be go time. I think there was a Molotov on the stairs, and Tourniquet is cooking another. Voston desperately healing. Doesn't take the damage from that one. Mormon up into the floor. One shot, two shot. Voston still going. Still a little bit of life in the old dog. Desperately first aid punching right now. Looks to try and hold it through, but needs to go for the barrel. Will not be able to find it. Arena. Oh, they cling on, but down into the shack he goes, holds with the P90, but he's got two players bouncing in towards him, and Influence Rage take them down. That's Team Flash going out as well. Blank, the moving target has stopped for the time being. It's on 134. Big match is needed for Arena, for Influence Rage, for Weibo to catch up anywhere near for the final hurrah in the last Miramar.
Everyone's chasing right now. Arena with 8 elims on this game, and they still hold on to 4 of their players as well. Burmese schools do go out. They were rid of the arbiters down towards the bottom of the lobby, alongside with Alliance. So it is still this brutal battle towards the top side of the lobby. Weibo look to make this one happen, but what they don't realize that Influence Rage, Arena still here in this game. All their main competitors still going. Got the UMP coming through from Regnum Kaya, but also the SLR from Wild, which I thought was crazy. Weibo takes down the final players there from Influence Rage, which is a really big deal. Oh, we gotta stop doing this, man. If you see teams getting taken out and you assist in that, don't immediately move into that position. I feel that's pretty obvious.
But it looks like Weibo are going to be able to get that res coming on board, right? For them, it's only 2 players for Regnum Kai to deal with. The match right now is on tenterhooks for Arena and Weibo, both looking to challenge it out. Oh my goodness, I love it. I love it so much. He just wants that scope, probably swapping it back to whatever weapon he dropped for it. Regnum Kaya, point denial. Okay. So it does mean that Arena would be 2 points shy with a full 4-man wipe, and 4 points shy for Weibo if they get the chicken dinner against Arena and full 4 Elam points. Both teams desperately want this one. Whoever makes it here is going to get close to the boundary. The spray down ball that starts off well. The weapon swap is hot, and the 2 players fall, and in a mishmash of chaos, it is going to be Weibo to take it away in the final moments. The placement points are there for them. They are on the precipice of joining the top 3 once more. Arena
turned around and started walking away as he got that final elim, which causes the kill in with a chance.
I mean, they are still technically in that 3rd place spot, right? So it is a pretty heads-up fight between the unorthodox, chaotic style of Weibo and the weaponry there, but in the end, they kept it nice and plain and simple. Pure spray downs, pure violence. The arena torn to pieces, but they still have one more match to play.
Terrain eventually in that field finish and make sure you control that winner.
Team Flash, they rely on Weibo and the arena both not doing so great. So for Team Flash, it may be enough. Just get a couple more points on board. We caught up with them to see how they were feeling, Blank, down on the stage with the 7WG. He checked in, and right now they got to be feeling pretty nervous. Let's see what they had to say.
Welcome to a quick report with the 7WG as we head into the final match of Group Red. I have Team Flash tops with me, a team that's currently in third place by just 4 points above Weibo Gaming. It is your first time at PMGC, only 4 points ahead of that fourth place team, trying to take it away from you. How are you feeling going into this last match?
Xin chào Top G, thì đây là lần đầu tiên các bạn vào PMGC và hiện tại thì mình chỉ cách đội đứng thứ tư có 4 điểm thôi. Vậy không biết là cảm xúc hiện tại của mình như thế nào khi mà mình chuẩn bị tiến vào vòng thi đấu cuối cùng?
Cảm xúc của em thì cảm giác thấy bình thường và team em thì độ tin thì rất cao nên là mọi điều rất là đơn giản với em như bắn những giải khác.
Okay, I feel normal right now. We have really great confidence at the moment, so for me, it just feels like playing in any other tournament.
Well, just to give you...
Before the photo shot went through.
Defending on the 11th place bubble. 84 points now. Twisted Minds need 10. Virtus Pro need 13. More than they've been able to find so far. It is a chase down. So completely out of the woods, but the three teams beneath them look at a chase, having a tough time. Team Flash lose another. To conclude beneath them and piranha their way to the points to jump on up. But now with 3 players, it's a lot harder.
Influence Rage, definitely an unsuspecting team, I would say, at least for some of our squads towards the top. Sook moves forward straight away. Try and find those shots, but Flash, they're rotating directly in towards Geekay. They're desperate to get this damage on. They know how much it means. Almost getting bows out the back of the vehicle, but not quite tagging on.
Not quite enough to take them all the way down, but the more you damage them, the harder it'll be. GK eliminated, our first team to be confirmed down. They're on 93 points, so not completely out of the woods, but the 3 teams beneath them look at a chase, having a tough time. Team Flash lose another, blowing these points away. Weibo, they think, oh, maybe we've been delivered something. No, it's being snatched away, and these points are denied. Twisted Minds in the meantime also going down across the way on the other side of the circle. Everything getting denied. Arc Red finally picking to pieces the last of true Rippers. Point looking for more. One of their players has been knocked in the meantime. 33Z needed to get back up and in action. 1 player now left for Alliance, looking to go for the res. They are 3 points behind. Twisted Minds with their fight to jump up, going badly, going low, going down, and ETSH take Twisted Minds out. That may be enough to keep the Boars in, but Virtus Pro still have life, still have breath in their body, and they will not go down without this fight.
4 players
pulling around him. It's law versus order. Will they win it out? It's Influence Rage. They're not going to be able to make it, but they may be able to drag Weibo back down with them. And they fall short. Weibo eliminated. If the blue zone catches these points, do they make it? I don't think there's enough. It's not going to be there. Weibo are down, and law supersedes order at that juncture. It's all done and dusted for them. Last charge, their sentence.
Goodness me, I mean, Weibo, they...
Place already earned. They do draw even on that one. Looking to go a little bit
They're
further.
shooting them,
Arcred's
John!
run
John, they're shooting
might be able
them!
to take them down. I'm
Nonetheless!
sorry, I was busy in the points. It's Arcred, though, to start to go down as Hardboy. One of the last 2 players to go, and Glory stands up for his namesake. Looks for Virtus Pro, tries to stop them dead in their tracks. Launch themselves maybe to an outside chance of joining the top 3.
Virtus Pro struggling now. Irina starts to move up, Mormon on the outside. And Joker starts to flow on through. But to throw a wild card here into the mix. Virtus Pro might eat a big nade here coming through from Irina. There's big shots. Joker from the backside does have to move away, but takes a tag from a distance there.
Glory for two. Looks for more as well. Milky Way to his front. Has to deal with Malloy on his side, but will not be there. But Virtus Pro are low. They are flagging. They just need a little bit more, but it is so much to ask of them right now. With E-Arena putting the pressure on, they need those points desperately too. And
Huge.
Virtus Pro falls short. E blows down another chicken dinner here, but to the chagrin of E-Arena.
Arena, the big thing to look at right now. Turney K on board, looking to cause some big havoc. Kyunbin versus Regnum Kai. You got Zed Wolf inside the shack right now. Burmese School starting to take control of the lobby on the north side.
Right now, E-Arena on 129 points. When you factor in the 5 elims they've already found, blank, they are currently 7 points shy. A chicken dinner would do it. A couple more elims, maybe.
No more
Second
maps.
place, a third place. Oh, it's so close for E-Arena. They definitely have the possibility of making this one. The placements that they've earned already guaranteed up to 5 points. Blank, they'd need 2 more elims to draw level. For E-Arena, that is doable, that is achievable. If they can spot DRX and take that elim, they may be able to bring themselves into a second place and guarantee that third place. This is their time. Will the tiebreaker be for nothing? On the 136, Turney K thinks they can do it, thinks they can step up, mount the pressure over towards DRX, but one goes down early. The spray down from Hyunbin. QXC looking to hold on. Their first place already. They don't need this. The nades are going to start to land, and the Burmese schools are here as well. The nades over the top. No, it's just the one player, and the E-Arena do it. Over the top, 7 elims. Blank, I think they've done enough to join that third place spot. We'll have to wait for confirmation, but now they set their sights on the Burmese schools, who have corralled them into a corner.
E-Arena playing this game so well so far. It has been amazing to watch in these final moments. Sadly, Weibo couldn't do it. The Flash couldn't do it. Tied up and E-Arena are going down. The Ghouls rise up right in the final moments. They have had some good improvements throughout this game, but E-Arena, from an outside chance to a sudden position in a potential third place, is insane.
That would put another home ground team back into the finals. They were going to Thailand either way, blank. Happy with it too. You've loved watching them. We'll be able to see more of them in that last chance stage. But Team Flash, they look a little bit dejected. Maybe they've got news that we don't.
I mean, to be honest with you, like it must be so close. But even for E-Arena there, I think they've done it. I think E-Arena have done it. That rotation they made so aggressive, so aggressive. Could have been a very different story if Hero was just able to win that fight versus Influence Rage, but Influence Rage is just a significantly strong team in terms of firepower, and that is the difficulty when it comes down to it. Weibo just couldn't quite close it out. The first volley had been on target, forced him out early, then Hero probably would have had the advantage of that fight, but, you know, it's bygones at this point.
They look pretty on edge right now. I think the admin, we got a little spoiler last time as we're looking for it. Oh, is he here to deliver the news to E-Arena? They've done it. Oh, they've done it. They are up in third place. E-Arena take the spot, and elation. They will return home in a blaze of glory. They'll see vampires in the finals, and I think Team Flash, they might have spotted this because they do look pretty dejected.
Mario, the rivalry just kept happening the entire time.
I mean, both of them struggled. They
Enough points to make it, because, by the way, if it's a tiebreaker, then because we've had QXC, we've had Sizzy now, it has to be a player from DRX, I'm thinking. Or it could also be Raymond Cookish. Powerhouses in the finals already, Niptura.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about that, right? I mean, we got a bunch of Turkish teams coming in here. We've also got a bunch of those Korean teams, right? So DRX
match, and they do it. It's so crazy. I mean, Weibo tied. They tied with Flash. They had
E plus Gear, the reigning champions. Man, these finals, absolute cinema incoming. I'm telling you that much.
Gosh, and it's such a great sneak attack. You got some macro coming in here. I can't wait to see who's going to be joining them, because these are the teams going over to Last Chance Jukes, and only 2 of these teams will go to final.